What is up? It is Andy here with you on a Memorial Day Monday because we got a Game 6 here. We got a team trying to crawl out of a 3-0 hole. I mean, we're even seeing it in the NBA, which is wild. The NHL, you'll catch it from time to time. I think it's happened twice in the last decade alone. But the NBA, do you believe that? That's about to go on. And I'm not thrilled that the city of Boston is about to be the first team to do it with the MLB and the NBA. But, you know, you got to take your hat off. I mean, I'm not going to, but you got to take your hat off. I will never take my hat off for the NBA because I'm not watching the NBA. I'm watching the NHL, even if it's two teams who most of the country doesn't care about. If it's two teams who most of both countries don't care about, Canada and the USA. The same countries that can take advantage of the promotion they got going on this season. Your first bet is risk-free up to $12.50. You place a $1,250 bet, you lose, you go, oh no. But if you're a new user on the platform, it will be waiting for you. That $1,250 bet in free bet credits in your account, as long as you're over 21 and located in a state or province where sports betting is permitted. But obviously, if you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, as I've told you many, many times. But coming back from 03, it happens in the NHL. Now, this is one of those series where I believe the Golden Knights can lose 3 in a row. And then because they have that Game 7 at home, I do feel like they can win it. Now, if this Game 6 was in Vegas and Vegas lost that one and then it's going back to Dallas, I obviously would favor Dallas. So I can honestly still say I have no clue who's going to win this series. I, like the sports book in this game, would give a slight advantage to Dallas. But I mean, in all instances where we've said that, including last game, it hasn't really meant much. These are two extremely close teams. Last game could have went either way. And you know what's wild? Like, did you see the save Aiden Hill made in the third to keep it 2-2? Isn't it so like, oh, what a storybook ending? And then he just lets a random floater wrist shot in. That always bothered me. Like, I guess at the end of the day, they should have been up 1 regardless, right? That one should have went in, the second one shouldn't have. But it just seems like, what a waste of a miracle save. You know, like, what happened after that miracle save? Did they score and they ended the series? No, he just let in a random floater wrist shot from outside the circle. However, let's get to this game. It's a Game 6. Dallas is going to be getting Jamie Benn back. Not going to have Dadonov back. Ottinger obviously playing well. You know, they're trying to say that they're getting some depth scoring, but not real. When your fourth line is contributing, that's random depth scoring. They need the Sagans and Domies of the world to produce, and they didn't produce at all last game. So they're going to need these other lines to produce. However, like I said, they will be getting Ben back, and that top line will get somewhat more favorable matchups in this one, being that they are at home. I, like the sports book, would kind of tip it in favor of Dallas, but as we've seen, there isn't a game that Vegas can't win. When you roll 4 lines deep, 3 of which who can score, that's a team that can win any game. But it doesn't matter, because like I told you last game, every single game in this series, every single game in the other conference final, the plus 1.5 underdog is covered. Last game makes, 9-0. 9-0! So we're going for 10-0 tonight. So we will start with that, but you guys knew we were going to start with that pick. The Vegas Golden Knights at plus 1.5. But you don't feel so great about that one. I don't feel great about it, but I didn't feel great about taking Dallas plus 1.5 without Ben on the road. But guess what? They came through, and don't be surprised. You know, Vegas is a very good coach. Don't be surprised if they show up in this one. If I'm going to take a side, once again, I will always veer towards the under, especially the way those two goalies played. But I do got to admit, last game was ruckus. Last game was up and down ruckus, but the Vegas coach called it out after the game, saying you're not going to beat the Arizona Coyotes if you're turning the puck over 22 times. So I bet you they're going to be focused on not turning it over, which means simple hockey, which means clearing it out off the boards, which means potentially an under. So I will take the under in this game as well. But that's nothing new. You guys knew that I would be doing that. You want to know about a crazy one I saw? I think it's plus 1,800. Let me throw it out there. Rupe Hintz to win the Conn Smythe. If they come back and win this series, my personal belief is that Florida's going to lose the next series. This is too long in between because their main backstop, it's been Bobrovsky. If you remove the quality of Bobrovsky's goaltending in that last series, they're probably losing the last series. His saves above expected is astronomical. So I do think whoever wins this series now is going to win the Stanley Cup. Now, if you think it's going to be Dallas, they're giving you unbelievable numbers on Rupe Hintz to win the Conn Smythe. So I'll sprinkle some dust on that, plus 1,800 as far as the player props in this game. Rupe Hintz giving you points, giving you shots on goal every single game. He's back to the producing Rupe Hintz. I'll go with the over on shots on goal, no problem. You have Jamie Benn returning to the game. Probably will try to be a factor. They bumped his shot totals down to 1.5. He's not much of a shooter, but 2 shots is something that I believe he can get. I'll take the over 1.5 shots on goal for Ben, and we can pair that with the Golden Knights at plus 1.5. You put those two together, that will give you a plus money bet. Marchessault, if they keep listing it at 3.5, I'm going to take the under. I know he's a shooter, and I know he plays on a line where he can get shots of 2 straight games, 3 shots. And I know that's tantalizingly close to 4. But this is not Eichel we're talking about. This is not Jason Robertson we're talking about. I once again will take the under on 3.5 shots on goal for Jonathan Marchessault. Like I mentioned, I will take the over on points and shots on goal for Rupe Hintz. Shea Theodore came through. He's that top power play guy. Always tempted to take the over half of a point on him as long as they're leaving it at plus money, which they did last game. I think he is once again. And if you're looking for half of a sniff, maybe Tyler Seguin to register a point in this one, but I don't like that one too much. So we're continuing our trends of plus 1.5, and then sprinkle some other things with that plus 1.5 to try to get some money. Originally, I thought this one would go to 7. I kind of look stupid, but not so more. Let's see what happens. Happy Memorial Day. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Shopper channel here if you need some more bets as the day goes along. You know where to go. Area 51. Find some flying saucers and find some flying return on investments that you will get courtesy of the people over at Area 51/Odd Shopper Premium. They give you all the relevant information and data that you want affiliated with these games. One day, I'm going to do some Sudoku, get my mind right, and go into there and break down all those numbers. But definitely check that out, and I will see you either before Game 7 or before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, where Bobrovsky will have not played for almost 2 full weeks, and you remember what that did to Vasilevsky last year. I will see you guys later. And also, I uploaded a new comedy podcast on my own, so you can also check that out on my YouTube channel or check it out on any of the app stores. It's the You're Still Here podcast with Andy Francis, also the same name on all social media platforms. Come find me. I will talk to you later. Happy Memorial Day. Enjoy the bacon cheeseburgers. Take it easy.